Let's join the palms together and invoke Swamiji, Bhagavan, Nithyananda Paramashiva, by chanting the Sadguru Vandanam followed by 3 times Mahabhakya. Let's begin. Take a deep breath. Nithyanandam Paramasukaram Kevalam Jnanamutim Dvandvatitam Gagana Shatrisham Tattvamasya Ekam Nityam Vimalam Achalam Savadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavaditam Trigunarihitam Sadguruntam Namami. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. So let's bow down to Bhagavan, our beloved Guru, to request him to bless us to experience the art of listening in this session. Whatever that he wants to impart, let us all receive it in full knowledge so that we can apply in our life and start living it. So, welcome back. Next slide. So this is what we're going to cover today. We'll do a quick recap for the people who missed last session. So today's topic is all about listening, art of listening. Are you listening? Desperate to listen. Listen means not having an answer ready. Understand from where the problem is coming, listening and practicing. Listen and face your incompletion and power of just listening. So these are the topic that we are going to cover today. So let's do a quick recap from last lesson. So in the last lesson, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, he revealed that completion is our nature. So completion is a state which leaves nothing left to be desired, either in the outer or in the inner world. So completion is an unclouded inner space. Your inner space is so pure and empty. In such a space, irrespective of what is happening in the outer world, completion alone remains. That's why we chant the Purna mantra. We say that whether completion is, is there, you think that you have been moved away from completion, completion remains. Okay? So, but we never want to face our incompletion. This is the problem. We run away. We try to escape. He said the only way to be free is to face the incompletion directly. So he's telling us, don't run away, face it. And he said, keep completing with yourself. Every time you catch yourself falling into low energy emotion, catch yourself, sit down and review where this is coming from and complete it. He said you need to keep doing it until you clean up your inner space. So this is what he basically summarized in the last session. Okay? Now let's enter into a new chapter. Today we're entering into chapter 4, which is basically about art of listening. This is so important because in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, everything begins with listening. All knowledge are transmitted by listening. It's from words to the disciple by listening. So in those ancient times where we have very great listening skill, because our inner space is not so cluttered. In fact, one of Swamiji said that to test whether how great is the listening skill is that in those ancient times, those Gurukul kids, when the Guru transmit one time, that means whisper the truth to the child one time, the child can literally in verbatim recite everything that the Guru transmitted. Understand? That is the kind of powerful listening skill. No need repeat. In our modern day, you can't even listen. You have to say repeat and repeat again. You only catch the beginning or you catch the last part and the middle part you missed. So I must say that in our modern day, the quality of listening, that means ability to listen, has reduced so much. I myself experienced it when it came to psychology. My listening skill was so bad because too much incompletion. When you have a lot of incompletion, you can't listen. So only after you started to complete, your listening starts to improve because you need that pure empty space for listening. So he said, listen first. Don't go and do other things. Listen first. People don't have a place to pour themselves. Understand? Nobody is listening on planet Earth. So our planet has come to a state that nobody is listening. Everyone is babbling, talking. Either they talk to themselves inside or they talk to others. Nobody is listening. They understand nobody is listening at all. Even if you pay money to talk to the psychiatrists or psychologists, those psychoanalysis or the therapists, you sit there, they pretend they're listening to it, but they are not listening completely. That's true. You pay money, but they're not listening. So I'm saying, listen first. Just listen, because listening is God. Why is listening is God? We'll come to that later on. He will explain why listening is God. Next slide. So he said, are you listening? Was the last time you listened to anyone? He asked. When was the last time you truly listened to anyone without your inner judgment, inner chatters? He said, when was the last time anyone listened to you? When was the last time you felt that the person you talk to actually are paying attention to what you're talking? So much talking is going on in the world. That is the truth. But who is actually listening? Very small percentage of people are listening. So if you look closely, everywhere in the world, people are yakking, talking, babbling. Everybody is busy talking. In any conversation, if you observe, to talk, can't wait to, jump and provide the answer. Using the gap you make, you see, when the person is talking, you just preparing what am I going to tell this person. So that is not listening. Understand? When you truly listen, there's no thoughts, no processing. You're just absorbing in pure awareness what is the person is trying to say. Catch all this hidden. Everything you're able to catch if you're listening. Understand all the spoken, unspoken, the subtle thing, the emotion, everything is, you will be able to grasp if you are listening. So much details will be revealed to you, even the person's thought current, if you are listening. Better and better devices for communication in this IT age, internet age. But we have forgotten how to listen to one another. That's the problem. That's why when Swamiji, I remember when we attend the first Inner Awakening, he told me, the program doesn't start when I speak. The program starts only when you start listening. I could be babbling while you're here physically, but your mind could be somewhere at home or on a job worrying about something. Then you're not listening, you're not, here. The program doesn't start for you, even though he may be talking, but you are not absorbing. This session only starts when you are listening without thoughts from the past. Okay? This is called authentic listening. Next slide. You need to have that intensity that I want to listen. See, why are you always desperate to speak? Why you can't just zip your mouth and just listen? He said, no, instead of desperate to speak, be desperate to listen. It's because nothing get inside to make you click or make you understand. So please provide listening. If you want transformation, start with listening. He said listening is the only way to receive life. Otherwise, you are not receiving life. You are just trying to battle struggle with life. So listening is the only way you can truly relate to you and to others. Without listening, you can't relate with others. So please understand, the hidden, the unresolved, the incomplete parts of you are crying for your listening. Inside, the incomplete part is that, please listen, don't just ignore me or try to escape. He said, just listen. When you listen to yourself, your awareness reaches such a peak that there is no space for conflict. There's no space for any conflict inside. There's no space for non-integrity and inauthenticity to live in you. Understand? Only when you start listening, all the incompletion, all the non-integrity and inauthenticity will leave you. Otherwise, you remain you keep inside your heart. So when you listen to yourself, all the unconsciousness in you drops away. Understand the power of listening. If you don't listen to yourself, you keep all these cobwebs and dust inside you and continue to create more mess and suffer. Okay, next slide. So he said, when you listen to others, you will transform them just by your listening. Remember, see, first part, you say, first listen to yourself if you want to transform yourself. Then when you listen to others, you are able to move them, transform them, just by your listening. Remember, when people come to you, they almost always don't want solution. They just want your listening. They just want you to listen. In the space of a deep listening, they will find answers they need. They'll suddenly remember, oh, I can actually do that. Okay. See, out of the deep listening, even if you speak, it will always be what the other person needs to hear. So that is the important catch. You need to know. In you, when you provide the deep listening to the other person, even when you speak, it will be what the other person actually yearning to hear. Do you understand? Only when you don't listen, you're trying to speak from your ego or try to speak from your judgment, your past. That's where you missed, not able to talk into the listening of the other person. So Swamiji said, I always say what you need to hear because I listen when you speak. I know what you need and I speak exactly that. That is how, for enlightened beings, they listen. Say, when I listen to everything, not just words coming from your mouth. I listen to what you speak. I also listen to what you don't speak. It means whatever you are trying to hide and what you want to speak. What you want to speak, but you didn't speak, you said something else, and what you don't want to speak. So all three, he's able to catch. So that is the power of when you're in the listening space. So he said, because he's able to see all this subtlety, he said, I can transform you because I listen to you. Same way, if we are entering into that pure listening space, anyone who come to your breathing space, you'll be able to know what the person, you'll be able to listen to what the person is speaking, what the person actually want to speak, and what the person don't want to speak. The hidden agenda, you will be able to also catch. So all three will give you the full picture. Understand? Next slide. So he said, this is the practice, okay? All of you, please write down in your book of heart or your notebook. This is the practice. First practice, he said, at the end of each day, just sit down to spend some time with yourself. Listen to yourself. Listen to whatever your body, your mind are telling you. Really listen, not just, get distracted. No, really listen inside. Don't imagine that you should not have thoughts. No, it doesn't mean that listening you don't have thoughts. You should not have physical discomfort. Just listen to everything. You need to sit comfortably and just listen to everything that is happening in your inner space. As you practice this technique of listening to yourself, you'll find your body and mind finally fall into peaceful silence. you will again fall into the deep silence of restful awareness only when you start listening to yourself. When you feel imbalanced, you feel jostled, something external shake you until you feel you're not able to feel balanced, you're off center. Sit, that's the moment you need to sit and listen to yourself. Finally, you will see that in that listening to yourself, you fall into the peaceful silence. Okay? Paramashanta Swarupa happens. Next slide. So listening means not having an answer ready. If you start preparing an answer ready, please be very clear, you're not listening to the other person. We really never ever listen at all in our life. When your spouse, especially, or your boss, your friend, let's say one of them is talking to you, see exactly what you're doing. Come on, let's be honest. You're not listening at all. You're preparing your answer to them. You're just saying, what am I going to tell her? She's such a naggy person. Or what am I going to tell my boss? So annoying. Every time make me work, very no compassion, very demanding. So you will be inside having your own conversation and trying to see what you can snap at the other person. So even before they start talking, you're already preparing your answer. You're already preparing to tell what you want to tell that person. That is why your answer never matches their question, because you never heard the question. That is the problem. You have to listen and hear the question, then you will be able to reply that question. Okay, next slide. So he says listening needs three things from you. These are the three things. Please be very clear whether you have it or not. First, a passive inner space that invites the other person to pour themselves into your listening. So you need to keep that space very passive. That means not aggressive or not reactive, just passive in that, like, step back kind of way to provide the person an opportunity to pour themselves, who want to speak up. Okay, so that passive inner space you must have. Second, a deep patience that can wait for a solution to emerge on its own. Patient. Calm will emphasize more and more importance. If you have this quick, like you want to fix things quickly, you're totally impatient, you want to do things quickly, then you will miss, because you have no patience to wait for the right solution. You just try to finish off as quickly as possible, which sometimes be not the right answer or not right solution. So he said a deep patience that can wait for a solution to emerge on its own. So that is the second important thing for listening. The third part, he said, the courage to respond spontaneously without a prepared answer or any ready-made solution. That courage has to come when you're in that restful awareness, that passive inner space, because only when you are in that pure space of listening, you will hear what the divine show you or the divine speak through you. Personally, I've experienced it when I'm in the deep listening. Just a lot of time you just tell. So have the courage to respond spontaneously. It is not prepared, something that comes out at a spur moment. So that is the third things that needs from you. Okay, don't always have a prepared answer. You know how in the school, in society, we're asked to prepare all kinds of answer, model answer for what kind of question that come. No, a true listener will be able to speak on the spot, spontaneously, without any prepared script. That is the real test. So listening means dropping your mind and being available for the other person who's in front of you. So be available for that person and drop your mind. Clear? Give me a thumbs up, you understand? Yes. Next. So here's another practice that he recommends. Just now that one, every night you should listen to yourself. This is the second thing that you should all practice. He said the next time someone talks to you, find a space inside you to just listen. Okay? Let's say someone comes to you and want to talk to you. Just find a space in you and just provide the listening. Drop your inner chatters, what your inside is talking. Just shut up. And just be still and let the other person speak. So just be in that, maintain the eye contact and just be still. Don't allow the mind to race in lots of thoughts. So when a word comes out inside you, when you see the mind start to pop up some words, let your listening just swallow it. Just continue to listen, and then the listening will just swallow that thought again, and then you'll be in silence again. You'll be in that listening. So keep practicing this technique, he said, till listening becomes a part of you. So in the initial phase, because you're so habituated to not listening, so in this technique or this practice, he said, even when you're listening, someone is talking, then suddenly a thought jumps out, you just make sure that continue to listen and swallow that thought. So that is the practice he's telling. Okay, next slide. So understand from where the problem is coming. He said, please understand, people don't always mean what they say or say what they mean. This is a problem. When they say something, they blurt out our anger. They actually don't mean it. They actually didn't mean to say this kind of hurtful or what you call that, toxic words, But it blurted out because of the anger they are not able to control. Or even, say what they mean, is like they are not able to say what they really want. So if you are expecting that, then you have not learned the art of listening. So usually when the two minds talk, the two persons' mind are talking. Neither listen. Nobody is listening. Neither understand. So there's zero communication happening when two minds are talking. So the ordinary meeting of two minds is just double confusion. One person is confused and the other person is equally confused, so there's never any connection. So at least from your side, if you are aware of this problem, let the confusion disappear from your end. At least you take the responsibility to end this confusion by you providing the listening. So when you see from your side, there is only one solution. That is, you provide listening and you come out with a solution. Because the person is not listening, he's just talking from the mind, then at least your mind is not involved or activated. You provide listening, then there will be a solution. So understand, Swamiji say, communication can only happen if at least one side is ready to listen. Just like when you have a quarrel or fight with your teenage son, if you're not prepared to listen, excuse me, nothing is going to, communication cannot happen. So if both sides are just preparing to argue and shout and, answer, how will each one understand where the other is coming from? So no. So when you provide listening to the other person, then you will know where the person is coming from, then you will be able to find solution. Okay, so that is, next slide. So if your wife is talking to you about some problem, please listen. Don't jump to the conclusion that she needs an intellectual solution. No. Let's say she say, hey, the other day I had this problem and blah, 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 blah. You don't just jump to the conclusion. If you listen, you may discover that she just needs a little attention from you. Maybe she just wants someone to, look at her and listen to her experience. So if she's coming from the heart center, Anahata chakra, that means your heart. If you start giving a logical solution, she will make the problem much bigger. If you try to think, you should do this, then she was like, no, I don't want to hear this. Oh, your hair is long. Come. See, another surprise guest, Manjula. Okay. always get these surprises. Tonight is too much of a surprise. Okay, so let me continue. See, if your wife is coming from heart center, that means she's demanding for some attention. She's having some attention need. And you're not giving her attention, instead you're giving some logical solution, and that's not what she wants to hear. Then it comes back to what? You're making problem even more complicated. Okay? So when she's asking for some attention, just give her some attention and support. That's what she needs. And the problem will disappear on its own, because that's what she wants only. She already knows the solution. You don't need to tell her the solution. Most of the time, I'm telling honestly, the woman knows the solution. They already have the answer. So don't try to think that you're smarter than her by giving her the solution. She already knows what to do. You just need to give her the time to listen and give her the attention and support. Then she will know how to do. That's all. Understand? For most men who don't understand this thing. Next slide. So here's another practice. Listen, he said, as you learn to listen to others, you will see that you start to listen not only to the words that they say, but also the words that are left unsaid. That means unspoken, the hidden, the suppressed. This is the amazing part. Only by listening you will know what they don't want to tell you, but you already know. Understand? So amazing, right? The power of listening. So don't jump to any conclusion when someone is talking to you. Don't jump, because your mind will be preparing, oh, this person is like this or this. No, don't do that. Just be still and aware, and you'll hear the unsaid or unspoken words as well. Then, in that kind of realization, you will be able to find the right solution or what the person needs. You'll be able to give the right advice, or you'll be able to do the right thing. So that is the power of listening. Next slide. So then he said, listening and practicing. Usually many teachers say again, however much you listen, only if you practice, you will achieve it. It sounds like your teacher from classroom, primary school. Hey, however much you listen, it doesn't happen unless you practice, then you can achieve it, right? No. So Michi said, I want to reverse this. This is not true. He said, however much you try to practice, you can only achieve if you listen. I'm not saying however much you practice. I'm saying however much you try to practice. Because without listening, however much you practice, you will only be trying to practice. Trying. Only when you start listening, the possibility of practicing happens. Understand? That is so different. When you say, oh, I already try, I'm trying. But that trying is from the non-integrity or inauthenticity. You just say, I'm trying, I try my best. No. Trying your best is just coming from something you're trying to run away or something you're trying to escape. You're not actually listening. Only when you start listening, then the possibility of practicing happen. Like for instance, you're not able to do your daily yoga, right? Then you say, oh, I'm trying to wake up at Brahma Muhurta time to do my daily yoga, but I'm not able to do it. I'm trying my best, but every time something take over, and then either my laziness or something I forgot, overslept, whatever may be. So only when you start listening to your inauthenticity or non-integrity, like for instance, the moment you know it's Brahma Muhurta time, what is the first thought that comes? Let me sleep for 5 more minutes. So cozy. Or I think today my body doesn't feel good. Let me sleep some more. Let me rest because last night I worked very late. So all these thoughts that say no to go to morning yoga, it's all nothing but your inauthenticity or non-integrity. So only when you listen to all these voices inside you and try to tell these voices, shut up, I'm going, jump out of bed and run to the toilet, start brushing up, do the panchakriyas, and then start rolling out the mat and come and sit on the mat. Only when you start listening, you'll be able to banish all those excuses you give to yourself, all the counter reason to say no to morning yoga. Understand? Unless you listen, the possibility of practicing, for practicing can happen. That's the truth. So the click Swamiji want to deliver in this part is that listening gives life and authenticity to your practice. Only when you listen, you give life and also authenticity to your practice. Okay, next slide. So he said, listen and face your incompletion. This is something that many people try to run away, but you cannot do that. He said, when you start practicing integrity, that means honoring the words you give to yourself and you give to others, all your inauthenticity are going to start boiling. That's why samputi, right? Samputi is integrity. When you start practicing samputi, integrity, that means honoring whatever you speak to yourself and others, whatever you try to hide or try to fake will never happen because they will start boiling. So your inauthenticity are nothing but your incomplete understanding about you and life. Whenever you have incomplete understanding about you and life, you have inauthenticity. Okay, you don't dare to stretch to your peak capacity. All your low energy emotions like anger, sadness, depression, all these low energy emotions are nothing but inauthenticity. See, your anger, your guilt, your suffering, all your low confidence, your memory of past failure. You think, oh, I always fail, nothing is happening. All this are nothing but your inauthenticity. Anything that drops you down from expressing your peak capacity is inauthenticity. That's why in authenticity, Swamiji is constantly raise yourself to the peak capacity. That is authenticity. But anything that pulls you down and make you not able to express your peak capacity is inauthenticity. Okay? So when you sit and listen to you, this is what happened. When you are constantly integrated with you, with all your this inauthenticity will be exposed to you, will be like, oh God, what did I do? This is why I am not able to practice. This is why I always cannot wake up from a morning yoga. This is why I always get into trouble. Because all the inauthenticity will be exposed in front of you when you start listening. You will start seeing the dimension of yourself which you never wanted to see. The part of you you try to run away, the part of you try to ignore. He said, be prepared. Because at those moments, never move back or move out. Never go back to the old nonsense or pattern or move out. That means try to escape. Say no. When you listen, you just suddenly realize. Face it. He said, when the churning is happening inside you, the grinding is happening inside you, stand up and face it. Don't escape or move away from it. Okay, move back. No. He said, stand up and face it. Stand up to face it. This is the only way you will transform. You can drop your inauthenticity and incompletion. Next slide. So he said, it is not exit, only the problem will come before you. If you are listening with integrity, you will find a solution also. Understand? Not just a problem, but you also find a solution because the solutions are already there. It is just that you didn't want to see them earlier. All the answers are already there within you. It's just that you did not want to see them previously. Not wanting to see the solution is also lack of integrity. Non-integrity make you don't want to see the solution. That's why we keep forgetting the solution, keep circling on the same spot. Because of lack of integrity. If you are integrated, you will be able to learn the lesson, the solution, and you will never repeat the same problem again. So if you have a certain incompletion, you decide that you will complete it tomorrow because you're too busy with some other work today. That is lack of integrity. No, don't postpone. Whatever other work you're busy with, because it is done from the space of incompletion, will only result in more incompletion. That's why he said, no. Whenever you catch yourself, there's certain incompletion, no, please do complete it. Don't postpone, don't escape, don't try to forget it, because only when you do that, you will find new solution. Otherwise, even whatever is done, because it's from the space of incompletion, you will only result into more incompletion. Understand? So lack of integrity is nothing but putting all your problems under the carpet. You sweep all the problem under your carpets and postponing the solution. So integrity means getting ready to face your lack of integrity and transform it. So that is the courage that we all need to have, which is to face the very much of our own non-integrity, so that we can be transformed. Next slide. So here's the contemplation. It said listening opens up your incompletion to you. Only when you listen, you'll start seeing your incompletions. So don't try to run away, face it, because it's a cleansing process. It's trying to purify you. It's a purification that is happening. It is happening to make you stronger. It is happening to make you evolve and come back, to the space of completion and powerfulness. So understand, please start listening to your incompletion. Only by doing that, you can purify your inner space. Next slide. So Swamiji says, just listening can dissolve your conflicts. Understand, whatever conflicts you're battling in life, you're struggling in life, only by listening you will resolve it. He said, listen, constantly listening to your own inner space is beginning of integrity. Don't try to run away what is inside. It may be a Pandora box. You can see a lot of worms or cobwebs, but don't try to escape. Look inside. Even if it's meant to open the Pandora box, open it so that you clean it up. So when you start listening to your inner space, you start practicing integrity. When your inner space says there's nothing more to listen, only silence, then it is end of integrity. You have achieved integrity. See, when you sit, that's why in those enlightened beings, when they sit, there's just nothing but just silence. No inner chatters. Then integrity is lived. It means all your blind spots have been brought before the light of your awareness. Your awareness burns away all the blind spots, and all your incompletions, all the conflicts in you have dissolved in your listening. So when you're providing listening, all the stuff that you're stuck inside gets resolved, because you're listening to yourself and all your incompletions. So as long as you're hearing something from your inner space, there is still some lack of integrity. But only when you have silence in your inner space, you have achieved integrity. So this is a yardstick. Only when you sit with yourself, there's no words, just silence, then you are living with integrity. So that is a skill for you to see how far you are from the silent space. Okay, next slide. So he said, go on listening. When you are talking, listen to you talking. Let's say you're talking, listen to what, just like now I'm talking, I'm listening to what I'm talking also. And when you're sitting, driving, walking, all the actions that you're doing, listen to that as well. When you're walking, what is your body feeling like? When you're driving, how you feel when you're on the driving seat, you're on the driver's seat. What is the observation of everything? And even when you're walking to somewhere else, like taking an evening walk in the park, what do you experience? Listen to everything. Tireless listening brings integrity to your life. Don't be tired to listen. There is no separate practice to achieve integrity. Understand? You have to live it. When you listen deeply, whatever is there in you, but which is not you, is automatically destroyed. So this is important, okay? First, he said there's no separate practice to achieve integrity. You cannot say, oh, I will go and practice this, then integrity will happen. No. Only by you listening deeply, wherever is there in you, which is not you, it's like something you accumulated, which is put in by society, then you realize, then you automatically get destroyed. You just get, nullified. So integrity may seem like a big word. You may be thinking, can I achieve integrity? It's like ongoing struggle. So Swamiji give that assurance. I tell you, just by listening, you can achieve integrity. So listening is not just ability to, listen to yourself and others, but ultimately listening is the foundation to lead you to integrity. If you are feeling that you're not integrated, you're feeling that you're always slipping in your integrity quotient. For instance, you say something to yourself, but you never achieve it, or you give words to some others, you never achieve it, you always missed your commitment. Then you need to get back to listening. Start from listening. Only by listening that integrity bar will be raised. You can live with integrity. Next slide. So understand, only if you see the tangible result of these tattvas, this spiritual principle, whether it's integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, these are tattvas, spiritual principle. This spiritual principle in your life, you will be inspired to live them. Only when you start seeing, wow, when I start listening, I start living with integrity. Only when you start understanding this and see that when you start living it, you achieve certain result. See, you will be inspired to make them as satyas, truth in your life. See, tattvas becoming satyas is the alchemy. You need to make it happen. You need to be inspired to become, the truth in your life. Otherwise, you just be concept, principle only, but you can't live it. It's not the truth for you. So converting tattvas to satyas is what we need to do. All your doubts are nothing but your fight with the tattvas. All your doubt, I don't think I can do it. So all this is your fight. If you can experience the result of even one tattvas, let's say you can hold your integrity and start living with integrity, you start living all the four tattvas. You start seeing authenticity happening, you start taking responsibility, and you start living, with enriching others. So understand, even just one, you start to have the rest, the four tattvas happening in you. So you will be thoroughly inspired. And Swami says, I tell you, you will be terribly inspired, terribly. It means, wow, it must be such a fantastic realization and feeling so inspired, ready to go, ready to start sharing or contributing. Okay, next slide. So here's another practice. Today, that's a lot of practice. You say constantly be in a space of listening in whatever activity you're doing. When you're talking, listen to your talking. When you're sitting, listen to your sitting. When you're walking, listen to your walking. Just practice this for 5 days or more, or 7 days, 5 to 7 days. You will see that you will catch the space of listening and integrity. Okay? So bring awareness to whatever you're doing, talking, sitting, listening, walking, anything that you're doing, please bring the space of listening. Only when you do that, and you see how you're able to establish yourself in the space of listening, and then integrity can start happening in your life. Next slide. So listening is the first step to unclutching. People say, oh, I tried to unclutch, but I cannot unclutch. Yeah, if you're not listening to yourself, forget it about unclutching. You need to do some homework, or say do some pre-foundation work before unclutching can happen to you. He said, here's a question from a devotee. He said, Dear Swamiji, the moment I sit and try to unclutch from my thoughts, I have more and more thoughts, more and more problems. How can I sit for meditation or unclutching? I can't do it. So Swamiji gave the solution, gave the answer. How will you not have more thoughts and problems? Unclutching is not switching off the electricity to your house. It is like cleaning, sweeping, scrubbing your house. So first listen to your inner space. That is the first step for unclutching, for meditation, for your life. Start by listening. So you need to listen in your inner space. What is happening in your inner space, the vast inner space. Then after you started listening, then unclutching can happen. The meditation can happen. Next slide. So he said, but even to unclutch, you need to be in a space of completion. You cannot unclutch when you fall incompletion. When you are drowned in the past, angry with the past, incomplete with the past. When your past is sitting on you and like a dead weight, like a heavy load, you will never be able to listen. That's why some people, even they go and try to, let's say they have a lot of like depressed people who have depression, suffering from depression. Apparently they have a heavy weight or load in their heart, right? Because they're depressed. They don't know what to do. They constantly feel life, they want to give up on life. Because they never listen to themselves. People who are suicidal, they never listen to themselves. So, because the past is sitting inside them and they're not able to listen. So only when you want to responsibly work on your future, you will start listening. Only when you're interested to transform your future, listening happen. Otherwise, you will still be entertaining your past, which is sitting in your present, and destroying your future. The moment you realize, no, I'm not going to allow my future to repeat itself, I'm not going to allow my future to be destroyed by the past, then you start listening. Understand? So please listen, the dead past never lets you listen. Because you keep replaying from all the recorded failure, bad experiences, incidents that make you powerless, all that dead past is still hovering inside your inner space, haunting you. So the past by its very nature does not have life. It is already dead. That's why it's called dead past. It's already over. But if you try to indulge continuously in the past, it destroys the future also. You are not able to create a new future. New thing is not able to happen because you keep entertaining your old dead past. So only when completion with yourself happens, you learn to listen. You need to complete. That's why even, Swamiji introduced the science of completion. Because in science of completion, you learn to listen to yourself, because all the hangovers, all the sadness need to come out. You need to listen to yourself. Why are you feeling so sad? Why are you feeling depressed? Why are you feeling angry? All that needs to come out, need to be dug out. So here's the click. He said, only when completion with yourself happens, you learn to listen. So it's not you learn to listen, then you complete. No. Only completion with yourself happens. You need to first work on your completion with yourself, then you can learn how to listen. Okay, next slide. So here's a joke. Swamiji tells a joke finally in this book. It was quite serious. Do you need a listener ourselves a little bit more relaxed? His wife was having a hearing problem. This man thought his wife is, problem with hearing. He thought she might need a hearing aid. He's the one thinking, projecting this idea that she needs a hearing aid. But he's not quite sure how to approach her. So if you tell your spouse that they have a problem and need a hearing aid, who knows what will happen, right? You may explode in some fight. So he called the family doctor to discuss the problem. This guy is trying to say, okay, let me talk to the family doctor how to broach even the subject. So the doctor told him that there is a very simple informal test that the husband can perform to give the doctor a better idea about his wife listening lost. He said, here's what to do, said the doctor. Stand about 40 feet in normal conversation tone. See whether she hears it or not. If not, go closer, like maybe 30 feet. If she still cannot hear you, another closer, 20 feet away from her, and so on until you hear a response from her. Okay? So this is the test that guess what happened? Next slide. So the man thought that the test was harmless after all. So let me try it. He said, decided to try it. So that evening he went back and the wife was in the kitchen cooking some dinner and he was at the doorway, just entered. He said to himself, I'm about 40 feet away from her now. Great, let me see what happens. Then in a normal tone he asked, honey, what's for dinner? No response. Okay, silent. Closer to the kitchen, about 30 feet away from the wife, and repeated, honey, what's for dinner? Again, zero response. Next slide. Dining room, and that's about 20 feet away from the wife, and asked. He walked up to the kitchen door, which is about 10 feet away. He asked, honey, what's for dinner? Again, there is no response. Already 10 feet, huh? So he walked right up behind her and asked loudly, honey, what's for dinner? On top of his lungs. Then his wife turns around and yells, telling you, pasta! So all this while, she was able to hear, but the husband is the one who needs the hearing aid because he cannot hear. See who needs the hearing aid, listening aid? Is actually the husband who needs the hearing aid, not the wife. All right. So understand who needs the hearing aid here. And in all our life, we keep thinking that the other person never listened to us. I tell you, if your listening is impaired, you need authenticity. Authenticity is your listening aid. Just align yourself to your peak capacity. So when we impaired. So when you bring authenticity, you simply start listening, and listening. I got it, Swamiji. So here's the click. You always think that the other person never listened to us, right? We always think that the other person is not listening to us. The truth is, it is we who are. So that is the truth. We are the one not listening, not the other person. So please come back to the listening, the space of listening. Then transformation can happen, integrity can happen, authenticity can happen. And you'll be simply start taking responsibility and you'll be able to enrich others. So it all comes from the foundation of listening to yourself and others. Next slide. So listening is the best marketing tool. How Swamiji talk about marketing tools? So let's hear him out. He said, all the successful marketing philosophies and ideas are based on listening. Oh, wow. For enlightened master, modern day marketing is no more aggressive. Oh, buy this, do this is best for you. You know, in the past, in the maybe the 50s, 70s, or 80s, when marketing was just about aggressive pushing the product ideas into the consumer. It is based on listening now. It is not about shouting on top anymore, like pushing your product, your belief, your experience on others. Communication starts only when you start listening. So don't go to the evangelistic arrogance, like you feel that you are so arrogant that need people need to listen to you. No, he said go on compassion. Only with compassion, that is the way. Listen to the problem the other person is facing. Listen to arrogance, thinking that you know better. By your very arrogance, you create a barrier. You create a wall between you and the other person, and you can never have proper communication. See, I remember when I was in the marketing job as a brand manager doing a lot of consumer marketing. We do a lot of research, you know, especially in the telecommunication industry, like in the mobile phone, trying to design. We do a lot of research. We listen to different, like the mass consumer. We listen to the fashionista, people who are into fashion. We listen to those premium customer who like uniqueness, you know, like a trendsetter who wants something that is different, one premium product, you know, to show their status and how they want to be viewed differently. So we listen to different segments of the consumer, listen on the road running, and they need a or someone who is into futuristic you know, devices, you know, multimedia, all the different functions. So we listen to all the different sub segments of the consumer, because only by listening then we can design product to um, provide them with a solution. So those were the days that, like I said, modern marketing is no more aggressive. It's like, oh, I designed this product, you take it or leave it. No, listen to them, because they are going to pay your salary, pay the company's profit. So you need to listen to what really matters. When you stop listening, that is where the downfall of the brand as well as the company. Next slide. So most of your relationship involves some marketing, understand? So whether you're marketing yourself in a family relationship, marketing your different quality in the business relationship, or marketing your product or supply who you're handling, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your boss, whether it's consumer. If it is a person with a mind, then be passive to learn to listen to that person in front of you. Then, even if you don't offer any solution, the problem will also be resolved. Practice an inner world needs. The art of right listening is such that the practice of right listening will lead you to the outer world and the inner world fulfillment. So, in that fulfillment, you will see all the problems get resolved. So here's the click. He said, when your listening is complete, even if you don't offer any solution, the problem will be resolved. You may be wondering, scratching your head, how is it possible, huh? So amazing, you know. So listening is the start of resolution to all your problem. Only when you fail to listen, your slow ball into a more and more mess, in the end, you collapse. So go back to listening. When you listen, even though you don't offer solution, the problem will go away. Next slide. Coming back to this final slide on listening. This is the power of just listening, and how listening has been in the whole Sanatana Hindu Dharma, the Parampara, the whole lineage is based on this one thing, listening. He said authenticity starts with listening, continues with listening, and continues with listening. It never ends. Into different energies. Human beings miss life when they miss listening. When we stop listening, that's where you're missing life. So this gentleman, J. Krishnamurti, says, listening is God. He's a writer. So also a spiritual writer. He said, listening is listening. Ravana, listening. Then the second principle is manana, internalizing, contemplation. The third principle is nidhyasana, living it and radiating it. So understand, listening is God. Next slide. Sit with authenticity and listen and listen and listen. Listening is God. Just by listening, you experience God. Because God is always listening. Only human being talk. God listen only. So when you start listening, you will become God. You experience God. Understand?
Understand.
If you are just listening to the sparrow sounds without giving away the meaning to it, it is God. Okay? Pure listening is God. When you're just listening without all your mind, your inner chatters, you're God. Okay? So only if you learn pure listening, you will be able to get the right meaning of anything. You will be able to listen to the sparrow and know why the sparrow is making that noise. You'll be able to listen and hear why the dog is barking in this way. You'll be able to understand why your cat is meowing for so long and trying to tell you something. That is listening, the power of listening. You will be able to know, because you'll be like God. You'll be able to sense all the subtleties that's happening around you, inside you and also outside. So only if you learn pure listening, you'll be able to get the right meaning of anything, right understanding of anything. So listen, listen, and listen. You will see miraculous transformation happening, not only your body, also your mind. So here's the practice. They say, learn to sit with nature and simply listen to the river, the birds, the wind, the water, whatever may be, the mountain. Just sitting with nature, with pure listening, without a need to gain information. Just deepen your listening immensely. This one, just by doing that, you can deepen your listening immensely. So learn how to sit with nature. You see how enlightened master, they always sit in nature under the banyan tree, under the bodhi tree. They just sit in nature out there, because that in itself will help you to deepen your ability to listen immensely. Understand? Give me a thumbs up if you are all tracking along with me on the art of listening, power of just listening. Yes? Okay, next slide. Go back again, next slide. So before we close the session, I want all of you, we're going to sit for 11 minutes, okay? You're going to sit for 11 minutes. You're going to listen to yourself, okay? You're going to listen to what is happening inside you, your inner space, okay? So just listening. You're going to sit with yourself and listen. I'm going to play Mahavakya for 11 minutes. All of you, please listen. If you want to have your If you want to have your issue resolved, just provide listening. Okay? So I'm going to play the Mahavakya. You can put your I-band if you have I-band. If you don't have, that's fine also. So let's sit for 11 minutes by listening to yourself. Okay?
I welcome you all.
Start now.
With my love.
Close your eyes.
Let you all open all your three eyes.
Listen to everything, your body, your thoughts, your blind spot, your incompletion.
Paramashivoham. Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Relax. You can open your eyes. I wouldn't ask what each one of you experienced, but I just want to ask for your feedback. How do you find today's session? Today's art of listening. Today's chapter 4. How do you feel? No one? Huh? Huh? Zen. Okay. Zen. Like very, like in the Zen there are a lot of silence and listening. Right? Yes. Okay, thanks. So anyone from the Zoom?
Yeah, it's very good.
How do you feel? Is that what you
Very,
want to share?
very good. Because I
Tell me
think
what things you have. Tell me.
this is one of the most interesting lesson. I think, in fact, is the best lesson so far. The art of listening. I think the only lesson which can give you a full completion. If you know how to listen, you can feel better. You can also get your completion. And the other things you are mentioning is the rest will fall in place if you know how to listen. The real problem with us is you know you have it, but you don't want to listen to yourself first. So there's no way you can listen to others. So this is a very good lesson, actually. I know for myself, but the thing is, I don't listen to myself first. So how to listen to others?
Yes.
So the very good option is you learn to listen to yourself completely before you can also learn to listen what others say. Because when you don't listen to yourself, of course, you will not have a understanding to listen what others have to tell. So you're basically just putting out your ears with the shutters, with the ear plug inside. So that's what I feel. So basically, is you learn to listen to yourself, then others, when they speak to you, you're also able to understand. Otherwise, basically, it's just like going through the motion.
Absolutely. So you caught the thread, which is great.
Yeah, thank you.
So you know how to listen to your wife now, huh? Okay.
That was the most important point of the day.
Okay, great. So I want to hear Renu's respond after see whether there's a change in her.
Oh yeah, in fact, we were there yesterday discussing, right? So it's actually a very good change coming through last couple of days. It may not be so 100%, but at least I know now it's 30% good. So 70% repetition have to take place, but not. It cannot be overnight thing. It can happen, but we can make it happen if we want to. That's all.
Yes. So just keep practicing the listening, the art of listening, and you'll see changes will happen. Great. Thank you for your sharing. Any others want to share? Because this Mark Kailasa will ask me, hey, how's the feedback? So I need to get some feedback. All of you, please type some short paragraph feedback that I send it to her. How many find today's lesson very useful? Raise your hand. That you find that, wow, today I got some new bling bling clicks. Huh? Okay, great. So who else want to say? Someone on the screen? No?
I think Ma Parvati wanted to say something, right?
Oh
Okay.
yeah, just now I said, hey, I'm just like the husband in your joke that Swamiji mentioned just now. Hey, I claim I blame the others. How come others are not listening to me? But actually, I'm not listening to them in the first place.
Yes. Okay. Now you caught yourself not listening, right? Yeah. So come back. Come back to the listening space and learn how to listen to yourself, and then you'll be able to listen to others. Okay. So let me just finish the last few slides quickly, and then we can wrap up. So already done. So thank you all for joining. Today I'm also very, very inspired to do this session. Really, really powerful session. Next week we'll start integrity. Okay. So once again, I want to invite everybody, whoever who is not yet the part of Kailasa's e-citizen, please you can sign as part of the e-citizen and receive the benefit of enjoying a lot of the sacred knowledge and also darshans of Swamiji. Next slide. You can contact any one of us. So the next Paramashava Sena batch 7 is starting on the 1st of June in slightly more than 1 week's time. So do consider if you want to take 1 month off to attend this program, because in this 1 month period you will learn a lot about completion. So that's why he said you need to start from the space of completion, then you can start listening. So do a lot of completion, bring yourself to a lot of completion, then listening will happen. Next slide. So next week we start chapter 5, integrity, samputi in Sanskrit. Yeah, so lesson number 8 in next week, next Wednesday, we'll regroup again for chapter 5. This is also another big chapter that needs, I guess, at least 2 sessions to finish, but very important. So with that, I'd like to thank all of you. This Parvati, you captured a screenshot, right? Hey, Sriram, can you turn on the camera so we can see you? We take a screen grab. Are you able to turn on the camera? Because right now we're not seeing you. We only see a dark screen. Let's see. Huh?
You can't see?
No, only okay, now okay. Can you capture? You can take a screen grab, Parvati. Yeah.
Yes, capture already.
Great, thank you. So shall we end with the Puna mantra? Thank you all for joining. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamevavachishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Saubham Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Parda Paramastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you, Nithyanandam. Okay, see you next week. I can end the recording. Thank you, Jarashadika. Bye bye.